We're here. This is the Germ Griffin Recordings Archive. This episode is kind of like out of nowhere, but I'm already liking it. I'm your brother Germ Griffin. We're in the studio with the one and only Stoop. StoopKid, Julius. If you've ever been in the Philly music scene, you probably have seen this guy. We're gonna chat it up a little bit. He should be on our Russia-Ukraine episode too. A lot of people don't know Stoop is also a veteran, and he's very fond of guns, gun rights. But that's only a small portion of what this guy does. I've been following some of his work, even in the Black liberation spaces, and business ownership kind of thoughts on different things. And he's a really good guest. So Stoop, I'm glad you're here, man.
Same.
How you been?
Chilling, man. Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm gonna be honest.
Indeed, I try to stay low key but still relevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's good. Low key, still relevant. That's always good.
Indeed.
Yo, man, I got a question for you. Everything that's been going on in these days, how have you been kind of keeping up with your mental health? I think that's what most podcasters ask, right? I mean, how are you staying alive and up? Even in these wild days,
Bro, one of the main things is detaching from society.
Wow.
And I don't mean on a social setting. I mean on social network.
Okay.
Scrolling less.
Okay.
I try to get out in nature more.
Right.
Sunlight, exercise.
Right.
And definitely what I put inside of my body. But
wow.
The main thing is the propaganda out here. Because if you sit there and watch the news all day, you're going to be scared. You're going to be blowing your guns. You're going to be trying to stockpile food, everything. So I know that this stuff is going on, but for me not to have that anxiety all day about it, I can't indulge in it.
Right.
I have to just sit back and play the outskirts. I hear about it and then I'll go read it on my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but here's my thing. We live in a society where people want to see, your opinion on things. They want to get everyone's opinion. Okay, who's on my side with this? Who's on my side with that? Am I wrong?
No.
You can't. We live in a society where it's almost hard to be silent on certain things.
Right.
Because even if you're silent, people are looking at you like the enemy. Oh, you ain't make a post about this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you ain't made a... I remember my sister talking about someone ain't make a post about Black Lives Matter. And that was actually an episode on Grownish. Remember that?
I never seen that.
Yeah, it's a show with a bunch of agenda stuff, I guess. I don't know. The guy, his friends are looking at him crazy because it was 2020. And they're like, why haven't you made a Black Lives Matter post? I'm like, man, well, why are we forced to post this stuff? You know what I mean?
What if you don't agree with it?
Oh, man.
Not saying that I don't.
Oh, right.
How are we just putting that expectation on someone?
Exactly.
Are you black? You agree with it? Post I don't have to post that.
You're right.
Somebody from the suburbs might not look at the same struggle that I look at.
Right.
So you don't think you got to post nothing from Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Or you could be like me and you just knew Black Lives Matter was full of whatever from the rip.
Was it?
So that's how I always felt about it. And it just recently came out that they were using a lot of the funds to buy mansions and parties and all that crazy stuff.
I heard about that. Oh man, do you want to dig deeper into that or?
I don't really. It's more so through the grapevine. I didn't go do no real extensive research to just bash them, but I do know.
Okay. I've only read 2-3 articles.
I know from the little bit of research that I did do was that organization was based around gay blacks.
Yes.
And they did not allow straights to have no type of authority inside of the organization. Right. Which was fine. If that's how you want to do it. But why am I being expected to post about this organization?
Exactly. Interesting. Malik, if that's you, we're here. WOC Podcast. No, this is not World of Controversy Podcast. This is the Germ Griffin Recordings Archive. World of Controversy Podcast coming soon, episode 36. Hopefully we can get it done even today. I'm your brother Germ Griffin. We talking to StoopKid. Just one of our many creatives in the city and a great mind, intellectual, business owner. If you want any herbs, they tell me this is the person to go to. If you want any bullets, this is also the person to go to.
I sell ammo from the smaller scale, one box, and all the way to mass shipments.
What? Oh man.
Tractor trailer loads.
Wow.
Get you. So yeah.
Anybody who wanted to get into guns, become a gun owner, what's some of the advice you would give them? What kind of are some of the first things they need to go about doing?
Oh man, one of the first things I would say is if you have a clean background, go get your license to carry first.
Period.
Before you even go get a gun, go get the license to carry it, because then you can legally carry it.
Right.
Next, you purchase your firearm and then you train with it. Go take Pennsylvania doesn't require you to take training.
Right.
You just get your license, put the gun on your hip, and walk outside.
Wow.
What I see selling, like working for a gun shop and selling ammo, is most people don't know how to maneuver with their gun. They don't know how to clean it. They don't know the proper grip when shooting it. So what I feel like this should be a nationwide thing is that if you're going to get approved for a license to carry, that there should be some follow-up training that's either government funding or you have to fund it. But train, because people resort to their lowest level of training in a panic situation. And if you had no training, you're in a panic situation, all you know is what you've seen on the movies.
Jeez.
That's why you have people shooting 30-round magazines and missing, and because they don't know how to grip the gun. So
oh my gosh.
First things first, get the license to carry so that you can legally possess the firearm. Second, go get you a firearm that fits you. Don't go buy what everybody else. Oh, I got a Glock because my man got. No. No. Get the gun that fits you. It's like a pair of shoes. You got to try it on. It has to fit your hand. It has to. You have to feel comfortable.
All right, help me out, man. Just looking at me, what type of gun would fit me? Because I haven't held a gun yet.
Bro, that's like, it's hard for me to say that. You would have to physically grab it.
Wow.
You feel me?
Okay.
It's like you saying like, yo, what shoes you think would fit me the best? It's like,
right,
I don't
know
what outfit you putting it with.
Oh, right, exactly. right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
You gotta physically go in person, touch these firearms, grab them, pull the triggers on them, all of that. None of that is odd. You feel me? If you go into a gun shop and you wanna, like, yo, let me see this gun, and they pull out like a 1911 or something. Right. It's okay for you to pull the slide back, pull the trigger, all of that. It's where you point the gun at while you're doing that. Yeah. If you go in there pointing it, dry firing at them, then they not gonna want to hear none of that. But if you go in there with proper gun etiquette, you're not sticking your finger directly on the trigger until you trying out the trigger. Right. Because trying out the trigger is part of knowing if you want this gun or not.
Okay.
So yeah, it's training though. Training is the main thing. A lot of people lack training. They will not go and train with their firearms.
But you're not training people, right?
I don't have an instructor certification to train people.
Okay, gotcha.
But if I did, I could. Given I've shown like my sister or my little sister, my immediate family how to shoot the stuff that I learned from the military. But as far as me like starting a school and like charging people for classes, nah, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't even do it?
Because I feel like that's like me teaching somebody kung fu. I know how to fight, but I don't know enough to teach somebody how to fight. Right. You know what I'm saying? I know enough to teach you the basic fundamentals of firing a pistol and cleaning it. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to train you on how to shoot. And then you go out here in society, now the time has come for you to shoot, and you resorting back to what I showed you. That ain't enough. No. So, and I know that, and I'm confident enough in myself to say, don't take exactly what I said and just run with it and say, yo, I'm John Wick now. Because I'm not even John Wick, so.
Oh, no?
Nah, I'm a great shot. I can shoot. I have a great group. Like, what they call a group is when you shoot, like, let's say you got 10 rounds. And you can shoot all of them inside of a small circle.
Okay, right.
That's what a group is.
So is that precision or accuracy?
That's both. Okay. I have like a 2 to 3 inch group. Okay. I can group all of my shots into that like a 3-inch circle. But it's only at certain distances. And people aren't shooting back at me while I'm doing that. I'm shooting at paper. Exactly. And I have all the time in the world to aim. Which is back to my original point where I said you resort to your lowest level of training. In a panic, you have somebody firing at you. You don't have time to aim.
No.
So you
resort to your
lowest level of training. Yeah.
All right, I might have to.
In a panic situation.
Because that is something to think about.
Yeah. Most people. How many times you seen a fight almost start? The dude throws a punch, and the one that can't fight, he's like doing all that.
Yes.
That's his lowest level.
Right.
Of training.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. And I've always thought about that too. I'm like, ever heard of some cool punches I could do? But I'm like, in a fight, would I really get this off? And I'm like, I don't think I would. You know what I mean? I took Tai Chi once in my life, and I can tell you, I would have to think about every move before I do it. In that lowest level of training, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that done. So, yeah. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. All right. That's something to think about. Before I let you go, I do want to get on a few different topics. And the first one is that I know me and you have this in common. We really like the idea of homesteading, owning your own land, living on the land. Okay? So it's more than just you buying a house, an apartment. Oh, yeah, I pay rent here. And then you go out and you got to go to the grocery store and all that stuff. It's almost like this urbana dream. And I used to like that too, but now I'm starting to see the importance of owning acres of land, really working on it, creating a system where not only can you live on it, but also produce food.
Every part of your lifestyle then becomes an asset.
Right.
And no longer a liability.
Right.
It all pays for itself.
Right.
So
your job is living off your own land.
Yep.
Which essentially kind of separates us from capitalism, and it's what I've been preaching for a while now. Agrarian society, I believe that's what they call it. An agrarian society, a society based around agriculture.
Right.
We used to have that society. Now it's not that way.
Capitalism took over.
Right.
Everybody wanted to profit off
exactly.
What you're talking about is more so like a bartering system.
Yes.
You like, all right, your region can grow oranges and peaches and all of that, but you can't grow corn because of the climate. Exactly. But we can.
Right.
Let's exchange.
That's
what it was back in the day. And then, colonization happened, and the trade system started to switch up. It started being material gains as far as like precious metals and stuff like that in exchange for food and clothing and all of that, dyes and all of that.
Right. And it's also the monetization of human labor too, which changed a lot. Changed a lot.
That took a major turn on society as a collective.
Right.
Even though slaves and all of that have been existing for thousands of years.
Right.
It's when in America, in the United States, what the North did was took people off of plantations and just made everyone a slave. And the South was fighting to oppose that. They weren't just fighting to keep slavery alive. They were fighting because the system that they had was based around just deeming these one genre of people as slaves.
Right.
And having their economy based off of that. The North had moved
I don't know, man. Now that's something to think about. I don't know.
The North Brooklyn, New York had one of the biggest slave plantations in the United States.
What?
Look it up.
Now,
Brooklyn,
are you
New
talking about factory workers, correct?
No, I'm talking about actual plantation.
What were they growing?
I'm not sure what they were growing.
They weren't growing nothing. They're not true.
No. Probably tobacco, though. Because tobacco is heavy in these regions. PA, New York, all of that. In fact, that's one of the main crops that they were...
I'm skeptical.
Look it up.
I never heard of New York as a big exporter of tobacco.
The North...
Even to our own country.
The North was not opposed to slavery, bro. They pushed that narrative in school so that it would look like the Northern people were nicer and all of that. But it's a lie.
It is a lie.
Industrial Revolution pushed for everybody to become a wage and debt slave. Yes. Put everybody into this. That's what the 13th Amendment is. If you commit a crime, now you're a slave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 13th Amendment says that you're subjected to servitude or slavery if you are convicted of a crime. This is why if God forbid, let's say you ever get arrested or something, and it's like a DUI, you sitting on the county jail.
Yeah.
If you've never been convicted, they can't give you a job in the jail. Only people who are going to have jobs in jail are people who were already convicted. Because now, technically, you are classified as a slave under the 13th Amendment.
Yeah. Oh, man, that scared me a little bit.
It just took people off of a field and dispersed it amongst everyone.
Oh.
And it became a classism thing. Now, to get out of slavery, you had to be financially free.
Yes.
It's capitalism and classism, racism, and all of these things coincide with each other.
Yes, they do.
Run neck.
Yeah, it's all social economics.
Yep.
That's what it is at the end of the day. Okay, so we've been talking about this for a while, the homesteading thing, the land thing. What is your plan? Are you going to get some land? Are you going to buy some someday? Or what is your personal plan?
I want to tell all the spills.
Yeah. Okay.
My plan is definitely to get some land. I'm actually working on that. I don't want to say exactly where. We talked about it.
Yes, yeah.
But I look at places that are not too desolate, but are not heavily populated. I like to be out of sight, out of mind, in my own little world. Okay. But I plan to purchase some land, and I have 2 spots in mind. One of them is like a multi-climate spot, and the other spot is more so hot all the time.
Okay, right.
So if I can go to the spot where it's cold, hot, all of that,
all 4 seasons.
All 4 seasons. Then I'll breed alpacas and shave them and get money off of just breeding alpacas. Alpaca fur is worth gold, bro. Same with sheep.
All right, now you threw me off with that one.
Because there's no need. There are so many animals that you can farm and breed that you don't have to kill, and you can legit just utilize their fur,
like dairy sheep.
Their fur, their feces, the urine. All of these things are animals that get utilized. You don't have to farm them just to check them out.
Have you heard of Aaron Fletcher?
Aaron Fletcher.
I just started getting into some of his work recently.
It sounds familiar. Who is it?
He's this homeless shepherd. Dude walks around the country with like 2-3 different sheep. And he milks them and takes the, stuff. But he's pretty much supposedly one of the only people doing it. But he's on a podcast where they talk about rewilding. And he was a guest on the show. And one thing he said that threw me off. And I want to know your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Someone said Germ. Can you read that name off for me? I can't really see who that is.
Tiffany Keys.
Oh, T. Okay, Tiff. What's up? Yes. Okay. I'm glad we're live, too. I'm reading comments. You can also follow me at germ.griffin. We're at the Germ Griffin Recordings Archive. Episode 36 of World of Controversy Podcast is coming soon. I'm talking to Stoop right now. I'm in the studio. I'm about to tell him about something new. I'm going to ask if he ever heard this. Duck herding. Aaron Fletcher was talking about this. I'm like, what? So Aaron Fletcher, a homeless shepherd, he just walks around the country. He got these dairy sheep. But he started off with goats. He said the goats was hard to, contain. It's only him. He ain't got a family. But he said, one person can herd about, I keep forgetting the number, if he said 500 or 5,000 ducks. No dog needed to herd them and stuff. I'm like, what? He said in a podcast, he said, yo, these ducks produce more eggs than chicken. And obviously you can eat the duck and stuff, but I was just thinking, wow, if you really found a market for duck eggs, you alone, as a single person, no family, no dog, could literally roam around your land, your country, whatever, with a bunch of ducks following you, have eggs every day.
That's what shepherds did.
Yeah.
That's how people made money off of their cattle.
Right.
Walking their cattle around, feeding them. They graze off the land. Never have to get a lawnmower. They eat the grass.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
That's kind of foolproof. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get into
what
that.
What was he doing with the ducks? Did he say?
He didn't do it. He was just telling us.
He just said it.
Yeah.
Oh.
He has sheep. Would you ever consider raising sheep?
Yeah, because you can. That's where they get wool from.
Okay.
You can utilize them for their fur.
Right.
Cashmere comes from goats.
Really?
But you have to. It's a specific breed of goat, and they live in a real cold region. That's why their fur grows.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can you read that comment for me? I'm sorry. You know I'm so far away from the.
It says people spend a lot of money for duck at restaurants.
Oh, yeah. Duck is greasy as hell too. So.
Listen,
I've never really been a fan of duck.
I am a fan of duck. I think duck is better than.
It's unlimited grease.
That's Zach Burns. Zach Slim.
I can't do it.
I like duck. I like duck meat, and I think it's comparable to chicken, if not better. You don't like it? Not the biggest fan of it.
I wasn't.
Now, how do alpaca taste?
Alpaca? I never ate alpaca.
But you wouldn't kill the alpaca?
I don't see no need to, because I don't eat meat. So,
that's true.
I don't know. Somebody out there probably eat alpaca meat.
Right. Yeah, someone did.
I ate goat before, so
exactly.
I would imagine it's similar. It probably is just more gamey than goat.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Nah, I have no intentions on like if I farm animals to eat them, it'd probably be like red jungle fowls, maybe a goat. I would get an original breed of goat or some type of bison or something like that. Right. The original cattle. Cows are domestic. They don't exist in the wild.
Right.
So pretty much if it don't exist in the wild, I wouldn't even bother farming it or trying to eat it. Because cows only exist
I know.
because we domesticated them. Same with chickens. The original chicken is a jungle fowl that was brought over here from China. I
might have to do my research on that.
Yeah.
But I do know for sure that the cow is absolutely artificial.
Look up the red jungle fowl.
Okay.
It's native to Asia, and they bought the jungle fowl over here in 1300, something like that, when Asians, Mongoloids migrated over here. Right. And they bought the fowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where you get white meat don't exist in the wild, bro.
No kidding.
If you shoot a turkey and slice it up, a wild turkey, it's gonna be dark meat. Right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All of it. Oh yeah, it's all processed though, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Everything is processed.
Now, question. What were you thinking about, like, when you got this land? Like, how would it look, family style, marriage style, children style? Are you considering yourself a family man? I don't know if you already got kids or
no, I don't have
seeing
no kids.
Somebody or something down.
I don't have no kids. Don't get me started. But I go ahead pretty much. I don't have no kids. I have 2 women that I currently deal with.
Okay.
You feel me? I don't believe in the traditional sense of marriage.
Okay.
Legally, I can't marry both of them. If I could, I would.
Not in this state.
Not in none of these states. Only in Utah, but it's only it's like a little small clause because of all the Mormons that live there. In fact, they're the reason. They're the reason why polygamy is illegal in America. That's a whole nother subject, though. But my plan is to pretty much establish, get my own land, establish my own ecosystem. Right. Where I can have food, I can have fruits and vegetables, I can have self-sustainability all in this land. It's a choice to leave. That's how I want to live.
Utilizing permaculture design.
Yeah, and it's a choice if I want to go out into society and do these things.
Wow.
Indulge. But right now, living in a city, growing up in a city, you don't have that choice. You kind of... You gotta hear that siren. Right. You have to hear this fire truck come down your block.
I know.
You got no choice. Yeah, you don't have no choice. So I plan on like I said, I like to be off the grid, but not completely up. Like I don't mind being on the electrical grid. Right. It's being inaccessible that I like. Yeah.
Brother, you hitting on something. Can you read that comment for me really quick? You hitting on something. I've considered this myself.
He said, fine dining might be anti-mass produced. Wait. Fine dining might be anti-mass produced duck as a chicken replacement because then they wouldn't be able to charge as much.
I can see that.
What does he say?
Pretty much that they'll replace duck for chicken at a lot of these places because they can't produce as much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. I actually worked for a online catering company at one point, and we used to prep food.
Yeah.
And this dude, it got shut down.
Yeah.
Fit Fuel Foods is the name of the spot, right? They got shut down because he had us making bushmeat. Bushmeat burgers and all of that, and was telling people that it was regular beef.
Wow.
But it was like gorilla meat and all types of crazy stuff. So I've seen
it's
that.
like Scrapple.
Pretty much they throw all the Scrapple in, and if they can get it to smell and taste like what they say it is, then people don't question it.
Right.
Kind of like spices. Same concept.
You about to get on your soapbox here. Now, what's up with the spices? You telling me there's some sawdust in them Jones or no?
Yes, the FDA allows them to put, pretty much if it can look, smell, and taste like onion powder, you can call it onion powder.
Right.
As long as it's organic.
Right.
Meaning it's like plant-based.
Right.
So they can grind up wood chips or
oh my gosh,
grind up some type of herb or something. And as long as
they
can
spray something on it.
make it look, the reason why you can go in Walmart and get a $1 thing of onion powder is because they literally they are giving you 1% of onion, and the rest is just all filler. Same with garlic. How many times have you walked in the supermarket and actually smelled the spices in the spice aisle?
Yeah, I haven't.
Never.
No.
It's because they fake. None of them are real.
Wow.
If you come to my house and walk in my kitchen, you'll smell spices.
Smell
yeah, and I have everything sealed, but it's just it's that strong.
Wow.
So it's all in the food. You feel me? The sickness is in the food. We sprinkle it on there. We chow it down, and we not paying it no mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stoop, let's hit on some religious spirituality stuff, and then I'll let you go. Okay.
Rock out.
First thing I want to ask is Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior? And second thing I want to ask is, how would you describe your beliefs and ideologies, worldviews, as it pertains to God?
All right, that's a two-part question. Let me answer the first part. To answer your question, no, I don't consider Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. But do I, what was the second question? Say the second part again.
So what are your beliefs when it comes to
what
God?
are my beliefs? God is real.
Okay, so God is real.
You feel me? I don't think that I can legit put a name or face or persona on what God is. Okay. I can tell you I believe it's an energy, it's a life force, it's in everybody, it's in everything around us.
Interesting.
Part of what makes up matter, all of that stuff. I feel like it can be explained through science or religion. Some people just touch on different topics with it.
Right.
But as far as my beliefs go, I believe that there's good, there's evil, there is a Most High. I feel like there are entities that counteract that. Right. You feel me? But bro, I told you I'm a person who I try to step back and look at everything. Okay. And I don't try to stand firm on one thing and say, yo, this is the ultimate. Right. Because things are subjected to change at any time. Okay. And I'm subjected to change my opinion on it at any time. So I like I said, I grew up under two different indoctrinations. I grew up under a Muslim household and a Jehovah's Witness household, which are two polar opposites, but both devoted. So growing up under that, being forced into it, I stepped back from it out of rebellion. Right. But then out of just curiosity, I stepped back into both, and I not practicing, but wanting to learn and compare the two. Right. So I'm a firm believer in God. You feel me? I pray, all of that. Do I pray to Jesus? No. You feel me? I feel like Bro, this is a wow. It's
It
a
is
broad
a lot.
one.
Can you read that comment too? I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about that. I like where this is going.
He said our bird's real.
Oh, she said her bird's real.
Our birds are-
Yeah.
well, you know what? And that's a good question.
I seen it. I want to tap on that too, but come back.
Yeah, we're gonna tap on that too. Now, you said you grew up with a father who was Muslim and a mother who was Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
How did that affect your upbringing, and how did that create the person you were today? I remember you said something earlier to the effect of you wanted to free yourself from the indoctrination, the forced indoctrination of both.
Exactly. I felt like.
Is that correct? Right.
I enjoyed both of them as a kid. Like I kind of enjoyed going to Juma on Fridays, stuff like that. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is. That's like church for Muslims. They do it on Friday though. That's where they all go.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, and Sundays or on the weekends, I'd be over at my uncle's house and I would see all my cousins. So then it all had its pros and cons to it. But then when it came to the rhetoric behind a lot of this stuff, I couldn't do certain things, couldn't get tattoos, they were just strict, you feel me? Didn't want you going out without somebody who wasn't 18 at the time. It was just super strict. So as I started getting older and they started letting me out on my own, I was like, I'm not doing none of this no more. Wow. I was like, I kind of rebelled against it, and it happened for like 2 years straight. And I stopped being so rebellious to it. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, there's millions of people caught by this program.
Right.
What's so great about it? And I started looking back into it, and I started to notice that most Abrahamic religious texts are just historical context. And it's telling you a story of history more so than some...
That's a thought. That's a thought.
Telling you, bro.
I've heard this before.
We could pull up
I've heard
dozens of scriptures where they talk about giants, where they talk about... I even explained the story of Sodom and Gomorrah story of how it got misconstrued and everything else, and people pushed the narrative that God destroyed it because of gay people when it was because angels were screwing humans at the time, impregnating them and creating giants. That's why it was destroyed. But it's so many things though, bro. Where
Now I want to grill you a little bit because I'm hearing some contradictions here. Now, off the record, I thought you said you didn't believe in the literal translation, the literal interpretation of Genesis.
No, I said that a lot of
but
biblical text is allegory. And when you asked, do I believe in the book of Genesis? And I said that I believe that when they spoke of the book of Genesis, that they were talking
about pedophilia.
So
we're talking about Genesis chapter 1 through 4.
I don't know the exact chapters, bro.
Okay.
I'm not that well versed in biblical text, honestly. Okay. I just know what I've researched and what I've come across. Right. But for me to sit here and be like, yeah, Paul 11, I don't know.
Okay.
Like
when I say 1 to 4, that implies the creation story and Adam and Eve and the fall of man. You're saying that is an allegory of pedophilia?
No. Not the full story, just the fruit portion.
Okay.
Where they eat the fruit.
The giants in Sodom and Gomorrah should be taken literally, though?
They found giants, bro.
Come on, man. Now,
they have dug up giants on dozens of occasions and hid it from mainstream media. But it's still out there. These pictures still exist. The proof still exists.
But they weren't the ones that built the pyramids, though, right?
Who knows? You feel there's dozens of theories of how they built the pyramids.
Okay.
One says that they did it using sound,
right?
Being able to levitate these stones. The other one said that they used slaves. The other one said that they used giants. White people are gonna say that they use aliens.
Yeah,
it's 1,000,001.
Right.
So
today is the day you can make sure Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. You know that, right? I gotta give you that one before you leave. You know that, right?
What's gonna change if I do that?
It won't be a political revolution. It'll be a spiritual, individual spiritual revolution.
What's bad about my spiritualness now, though, that I have to accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. What's gonna happen in the outcome if I don't? Is the real question.
That's my question to you. What's gonna happen if you live your life the same way you're living now? When you die, where will you go? Have you thought about
under
that?
which indoctrination? Are you asking me what I think will happen when I die, or what? Bro, that's a broad one because I can go off of 6 different ideologies that I've read on, where one says that hell ain't even real and that it's an ideology created by poets. In fact, Dante Alighieri wrote the Divine Comedy, right? And that
Dante's
was
Inferno.
Dante's Inferno, and prior to that, hell was never mentioned in the Bible. It wasn't until post Dante Alighieri's poem that it was mentioned in the book of Luke, and Jesus goes down and sees these 9 rings of hell, the same ones that was mentioned by this poet in the Divine Comedy. So, and then the original story of where they get hell from is from Egypt. You feel me? And Anubis is the one that puts your heart on the Libra scale to weigh it on the feather.
That's an interesting thought. So here's my thing. You do believe there was a Jesus Christ?
A physical person?
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of historical evidence to suggest that Jesus Christ was real.
I haven't
Have you
personally
not read that?
No.
Okay.
So I'm not going to dismiss it and say that it's not true because I haven't stumbled on it. Now, if you shoot something my way and it changed my opinion, then yeah,
I'll shoot some stuff your way.
I'm open. You feel me?
Right,
I'm not
right.
fixed on.
Right.
If you shoot something my way that tells my brain like, yo, that's right.
Well, I know a big thing with you is saying open-minded
Yeah.
and everything. So, you know what I mean. What did you say? Open your
palate.
Yeah. I like that.
You got
but Jesus has opened his table for you to sit down.
Yo,
Okay.
yo.
You know what I mean. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus says this to the one guy, and he said, well, hold up, how can I be born again? He's like, oh, you can be born again right now if you know what I mean. Born again was a translation for born above. It means the same thing in that language they were speaking. A lot of people don't know that. He's like, born again? How can I go back into my mother's womb?
What language were they speaking?
I believe Hebrew.
Greek,
all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Man, it's a tough one though, man. When they
Come on,
translate
man.
it, they translate in Hebrew over into English.
You're right.
And
You're right.
like I said before, English is bastardized. It's a derivative of Latin, Spanish, Italian, French, all of that.
What I'm saying is that term in that language they were speaking then was a term that had 2 meanings even back then. So when Jesus said you must be born again, he could have also been saying you must be born from above. And the guy is sitting back and he's like, well, how can I be born? How can I go back into my mother's womb? And then Jesus goes as far to say, no, you must be born again spiritually.
Which is why I say a lot of it is allegory.
Brother, no, wait a minute.
Have you ever researched the Gnostic scripts? Or
I don't
even
need to.
know what Gnosticism is.
I know what Gnosticism is. Because I know what occultism is.
Occultism? That's what y'all call it?
Well, hold up, brother.
Hold on.
The occult takes a lot from
where-
Gnosticism. Gnosticism is a very vague
Where
term.
is the occultism derivative from?
Occult is ancient, man.
Starts out under...
Satanism.
No, it's not, bro.
It's
not Satanism.
No.
Satanism is a modern day concept that
the manipulation of the natural law.
That a lot of people... I don't want to put a specific genre or race of people, but that's not what... Satanism is based off of Aleister Crowley and all of that. Okay. You feel me? Occult magic is based off of Hermes, which is based off of Thoth and Egypt. You feel me?
Well, that's only one sector of occultism, because occultism is in multiple different
and most
regions.
Most occultism is, like, for example, voodoo is a form of Christianity.
No,
it is. It is.
Well, first thing, voodoo and hoodoo are two different things. One is a religion, one is not.
One is a practice.
Correct.
And the one that is a practice practices using the Bible.
Yeah, but hold up. But occult Jewish people practice using the Kabbalah, and the Kabbalah is practically the Old Testament.
Okay.
So you're not saying too much to me,
it's the same thing,
Julius. Hold up, man. You ain't saying about
most
much to me, Stoop.
most of what you say is people
pull out your first name, man.
People are practicing occult magic and don't realize it. They do rituals all the time. And the only thing that's different is that they're not putting intent behind it, but they get up and do a ritual every morning.
Yeah.
Get up, wash your face, brush. That's a ritual.
Yeah.
You feel me? We practice occult magic in our culture and don't even. Hoodoo is occult magic. You feel me? Thinking that you can manifest your reality is a part of that.
It's a part of the natural law.
Yeah, and
it's a part of the natural
so does
law.
that make it Satanism, though?
That's a good question.
And we can say this, right? Satanism gets this evil eye, but Christians have slaughtered more in the name of Christianity and Christ than Satanists have done in the little time period that Satanists existed.
The Bible goes as far to say pure religion, true religion, is taking care of the poor and taking care of the widows. That's what true religion is.
Right.
So I don't know what they were practicing. You
So-
can call it
so-
Christianity, you can call it
So how do you feel about modern
or
day
Islam?
How you feel about modern day pulpit pimps?
Hold up, brother. This is my interview, man.
Wait,
What do I think about? What do you think I am? What? Listen, Germ
Cut it
Griffin
out,
Recorders
yo. Cut it
Archive.
out.
We ain't got much time. I'm in the studio with Stoop. If you wanted to hit on that our birds real thing, I'll let you get a few seconds, but then I want you to promote whatever you got going on, an event, your social media, your business. But I'll let it go right to you, man. Go
Definitely. The our birds real comment. I seen maybe about a year ago. I seen a sticker, and it was saying that birds were a CIA op, and that you never seen a bird egg or none of that. And I don't know, it stuck out to me. I was like, damn, I did never see that. But as far as me, you can find me on Instagram at @therealstoop_kid. I sell ammo. We have a black-owned gun shop out in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, 137 East Richardson Ave.
Okay.
You have to call to make an appointment. The county won't allow us to open up as a full walk-in shop.
Oh.
They
It's one of them type things.
they
Langhorne, Pennsylvania?
yeah, it's
What is that?
It's historic.
Bucks County?
I think it's Montgomery.
Oh,
I'm not
Montgomery.
sure. I
Okay.
think it's-
Okay, so that ain't too far. Okay.
right out. If we're right down the street from Sesame Place.
Okay.
So if you know where,
Right.
in between Oxford Valley and the Chamonix
Yeah.
Mall, we do gun shows every weekend. If anybody's interested in getting a license to carry, training, purchasing firearms, contact my Instagram. I can put you with some of the best trainers, get you some of the best ammo prices, gun prices.
If they're not on Instagram, how can they get to the website? Or
I'll put my direct number, 267-444-0394.
Wow.
My first name is Julius. You can pretty much hit me. Don't hit me after 6 o'clock.
Amen.
Please don't.
Amen.
I have a life, but
Yes.
but yeah,
I love it. He got office hours, y'all.
Yeah.
You want to talk to Professor, you got to get to the office hours.
Outside of that, though, I also make spices from scratch. And I'm a naturalist. I forage once a week. I go hiking. I show people how to forage for their own food in the woods.
Right.
Just get with me.
Listen.
We can learn a lot from each other.
Stoop, what's your Instagram?
@therealstoop_kid.
@therealstoop_kid. Love that Instagram. I've been following him for some time now. I actually known him off of Instagram, I think, even before I met him in person. Stoop, he's a good guy. You know, I mean, we may differ on certain things, but we agree probably on a lot more. And follow his Instagram. Follow me on the gram @germ.griffin. You can also listen to this podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you find a podcast. What a Controversy Podcast, episode 36. That's coming very, 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 very soon. I'm super excited, and as always, I'm out. Love y'all. Peace. Stoop, can you hit my live?
Got you.